Let's get straight to it. You're selfish. And so am I. And so is everyone you've ever met. I'm not talking about the cartoonish kind of selfishness, the greedy villain who hoards gold and cackles in a tower. I'm talking about the quiet, socially acceptable, invisible selfishness that lives inside every human decision, the kind that hides behind kindness, the kind that dresses up as generosity, the kind that lets you believe you're a good person, while still putting yourself first. If you feel defensive already, that's a good sign. It means we've just touched something raw. We like to think we have pure motives, uncontaminated by any self-interest. But here's the truth. Every choice you've ever made, even the noble ones, has carried some shadow of self-interest. You donate to charity and feel good about yourself. You comfort a friend and feel proud of being the supportive one. You work hard for your family and gain the identity of the responsible one. Even in sacrifice, there's a payoff. Even in love, there's a desire for security, for connection, for meaning. The 17th century philosopher Thomas Hobbes argued that humans are driven by self-preservation above all else. Peel back any act of kindness, and you'll find some benefit, status, belonging, pride, or emotional relief. You might want to disagree. You might think, but what about true selflessness? What about the soldier who jumps on a grenade to save his comrades? Here's the uncomfortable twist. Even in that moment, the soldier is acting in line with his deepest personal values: loyalty, honor, or love. Those values are his. They matter so much to him that death is worth the price. The choice still serves his own moral identity. Selfishness doesn't always mean greed. Sometimes it's simply the act of choosing in alignment with your truest desires, even if that desire is for someone else's well-being. Now, here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. We cling to the idea of selflessness because it makes us easier to love. It allows us to tell a flattering story about who we are. It's easier to say, I help because I care, than to admit, I help because it makes me feel needed. Have you ever given advice no one asked for, then told yourself it was for their benefit? Stayed in a relationship for the other person's sake when really it was fear of loneliness? Done a favor for someone but secretly hoped they'd remember it and repay you later? We wrap these moments in polite lies. I was just trying to help. I didn't want to hurt them. I'm doing this for you. But often what we really mean is I'm doing this for me, and I don't want to admit it. Nietzsche was ruthless in exposing this. He argued that morality itself is often a mask, a set of social behaviors that help us survive, gain approval, or feel superior. Take generosity. On the surface, it's noble, but in many cases, it also buys loyalty, admiration, or moral superiority. Take forgiveness. It heals wounds, yes, but it also frees us from the exhausting weight of resentment. We feel constantly trading in this economy of hidden returns, even when we don't notice it. In the 1940s, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German pastor, risked everything to resist the Nazi regime. He helped smuggle messages, assisted the resistance, and was eventually executed. On the surface, his choices seem like the height of selflessness, but Bonhoeffer admitted something most wouldn't dare. He could not live with himself if he stayed silent. His actions weren't only for others, they were for his own integrity and peace of mind. Was that selfish? In Hobbes' sense, yes. But it was also moral, courageous, and beautiful, and that's the point. Selfishness isn't the opposite of morality. It's the soil morality grows from. If you dig deep enough, selfishness shows up in strange places. In parenting, parents often sacrifice everything for their children, but part of that is the identity they gain being a good mother or a strong father. In activism, fighting for justice can also serve the personal need to feel righteous or morally superior. In love, we choose partners who fulfill our emotional needs, even when we tell ourselves it's all about them. This isn't an accusation, it's human nature. Pretending otherwise is just another lie we tell ourselves. As long as you cling to the fantasy of pure selflessness, you'll misunderstand yourself. You'll ignore the quiet motives that shape your every move. But when you admit your selfishness, when you own it, something changes. You start making choices with more clarity. You start asking, am I helping them because they need it, or because I need to feel helpful? Am I saying this because it's right, or because I want to be seen as right? This doesn't make you more selfish, it makes you more aware. And awareness is what turns blind ego into conscious action. Here's the thing, denying your selfishness doesn't make you selfless. It just makes you dishonest. When you believe you're acting purely for others, you stop questioning your motives. You become blind to the small manipulations. You weave into your kindness. And over time, those lies erode your relationships in fundful, stumzinful denangpulations. You weave into your kindness. And over time, those lies erode your relationships from the inside. The people around you feel it, even if they can't name it, that your giving comes with strings, that your help is partly about you. When you drop the act, you become easier to trust, not because you're perfect, but because you're honest about your imperfection. Here's the paradox. The moment you accept your selfishness, you can finally act with genuine compassion. You can admit, yes, I'm helping you, because it makes me feel good, and because I truly want you to be okay. You can admit, yes, I want love, because it nourishes me, and because I want to nourish you too. Selfishness doesn't have to be a cage. It can be the reason you do beautiful things, but only if you stop hiding it. So I'll leave you with this. What would your life look like if you were radically honest about the selfishness behind everything you do? And what kind of person could you become if you let that truth set you free?